Hello, you're welcome back to Project Management Demystified. So, this is episode 4, I think, of this Project Management Professional. That's what I'll call it, Project Management Professional role with Robert Walters. So, in the last 3 episodes, we've covered a number of things, and what you have on your screen is these bullet points. So, we've covered the business analysis bullet points, we've covered these liaising with clients, and then so I wanted to go into another important aspect of day-to-day working, and this is around develop collaborative relationships with a squad working across different departments and regions. Again, just like I said in the previous episode, this bullet point is not just for project management. It is applicable to every role. And the question I want to ask is, how do you develop collaborative relationship with teams or your teams or with stakeholders or with colleagues? It is not by telling people what to do. It is not by bringing a big stick. It is not by trying to force them or twist their hands to do what to do what you want them to do. And that's why the word used there is collaborative. That is, how do you get people to come together, think together, and feel like they are being heard? I'll say that again. People to feel like they are being heard. That is how to build collaborative relationships. Some people, some people, when they get to some level, or when you get to some levels in your career, you might not be doing, I'll call it anything in quotes, anything that you know how to do today. You might not be doing anything. The work you'll be doing will be to develop collaborative relationships with stakeholders working across different departments and regions. That's what the work will be about. The work will not be about typing something in a system. The work will not be about creating plans. The work will not be about, just name it, will not be about doing requirements. All those will not be at your level anymore. What you will be doing will be, how can I get this 20, 30, 40, 10, 15 people together to agree way forward on what we want to achieve? And that's very difficult. I can tell you that for a fact. So how do you let people feel heard? And these things are subtle. If you're not experienced, you might not notice them. You can be in a meeting. And then everyone is talking and one person has not had the chance to talk. I intentionally used has not had the chance to talk. You can see it as one person is not talking. How do you bring them into the conversation? That is one way of making people feel heard. And sometimes you could be surprised at what they'll be sharing, what their idea would be, or what their contribution will be, will add significant value to what you're trying to achieve. Then you could be working with stakeholders in different regions. Are you stretching them? I know sometimes this is difficult because in some organizations, you could be working with 7-8 hours difference. UK and India, for instance, it could be 4.5 or 5.5 hours difference. Are you putting meetings at odd times where people should not be working in ball because you're not just you just want to get the job done, which is not a bad thing, but you need to consider your stakeholders. So it is the whole of the work you're trying to do. Developing collaborative relationships. When you're trying to get people to do things, what's in it for them? What's your own part in it? What I can't just explain this enough. Then let me just go to this last bullet point. Lead or contribute to key project work streams relating to build out of evolving regulatory rules. At some levels, you could be in meetings and you might just speak once, and that's contributing to key project work streams. But that your contribution. Let me give you a typical example. So it's a 1 hour meeting, everyone has been talking, they've been going back and forth, and you just identify a risk. And then the conversation goes into the risk, and then everyone realizes that the risk that you've called out could cost £10 million project about £500,000 or £1 million. And it's just, I think that there might be a risk here. I think that there might be something we've not considered here. And that's the only thing you said. And you said the thing that they might not have considered. And then, boom, you go into the rabbit hole and realize that, if we don't fix this, it could cost the project £1 million. That's your job done. So it's interesting. So building out evolving regulatory, I think I touched on this one. Just mapping regulatory requirements to system requirements to what you're trying to build and making sure that those things are being met. Maybe let me stop there for today because I could go on and on and on with so many different examples. I'll stop there for today and then I'll see you on the other side. Cheers. Bye-bye.